If you'd like to see that full comic, you really need to see it. It is truly shocking. You can see it at glennbeck.com now. There are three things that we are trying to be separated from: God, capitalism, and each other. And they all kind of, right now, I think, center around Jerusalem and Israel. Israel is surrounded by hatred and violence. And we know that President Obama now wants to return to the 67 lines, which makes Israel incapable of defending itself. And that's what Israel wants: the ability to defend itself. Danny Danon is the Deputy Speaker of the Knesset. He joins me from Jerusalem now. He has been one of the most outspoken people trying to say, please stop what you're doing to the president. Danny, welcome to the program.
Good evening, Glenn, from Jerusalem.
Can you tell me, sir, first of all, you saw the anti-Semitism that is happening here with this this cartoon. Is that not exactly what we saw in the 1930s against Jews?
It is disturbing. It's sick, you know. I think the guy who wrote it should be sent to mental support. But it's only a beginning. I think we are facing a new wave of anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism, anti-Israel, you name it. But it's all coming against Israel from different directions. And when people here in the Middle East see such stuff coming from the US, imagine what will happen tomorrow in Turkey, in Egypt, in our neighborhood.
What, you know, this weekend, I said that they were going to send people across the border, and this is just the beginning, Danny. They are going to send people across the border, and they are going to force Israel to shoot people as they cut through those fences. And that's exactly what they did this weekend. Do you stand by that, or what other option do you have as a country?
Well, absolutely. What we saw the recent days, the Syrian president is trying to divert the public attention from what's happening today in Syria to Israel. Only today, Glenn, 120 people were massacred by Syrian policemen in Syria. So we're seeing them sending those youngsters to the border with Israel, and we will have to defend our borders. Every sovereign country will have to do it, and if they will try to do it again and again, we will be standing on the fence and protecting our people. That's what the American army will do, and that's what the Israeli army will do if we will have to face it again.
Danny, the president has said that he wants the 67 borders. Most people in America don't really even understand that this is a play for the West. Why is Israel important to America?
I'm very worried by the US President motion about the 67 line. Glenn, when you come in the summer to Israel, I will invite you to my house. I live exactly in the middle of Israel. It's 4 miles from Judea and Samaria. If God forbid there will be a Palestinian state on the hills of Judea and Samaria, my family life will be in danger, and the majority of Israelis will be in danger. And I think the American people, unlike the American president, they know that we are the closest ally of the American people. We share the same values. We are a real strong democracy. And I can tell you that the Israelis today are confused, because in one hand, we saw the American troops hunting down Osama bin Laden, and it was great. It was a great move, and we salute you. But on the other hand, the American president is trying to pressure us to sit down with Hamas, which is exactly like Al-Qaeda. So you cannot, in one hand, send the troops to hunt down Al-Qaeda, and on the other hand, tell to the Israelis, tell us, you should create a Palestinian state that will be controlled by Al-Qaeda and Hamas.
What can the American people do?
I think they have to speak up. They have to stand and speak up. They cannot be quiet, because some people in Israel think, well, we have to listen to the American president. Otherwise, we will not get the support. We will not get the umbrella of the U.S. in the UN in the coming vote in September. You know, and I know it's not the case.
Yeah, may I just tell you, because I know that a lot of people watch us over in Israel, and Danny, that is absolutely, I mean, well, look, you can play any game you want with the President of the United States, but you're playing a losing hand with the President of the United States, as people in our own labor unions will figure out eventually, or the average person. You can't compromise with the President of the United States, and you must speak out. You've got to speak out. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in the dustbin of history. And the difference between the 1940s, if I may be so bold, and now is you have a state. You have a place that can defend itself. You have an army. You have a place where others can find refuge. If you don't have Israel, the Jews have no place to go and no way to officially defend themselves.
Glenn, we know that we can count only on ourselves. But when we see the threat coming from Iran, Iran is not a threat only to the Israelis. It's not a threat only to the Jewish people. It is a threat for the American people. And the American president is ignoring the real threat of Iran, and he's trying to impose his wishful peace plan on us. And we will stand and we will tell the American president, no, we can't. We cannot fulfill your wishful peace plan. It will not be easy, but we cannot allow to make mistakes. If the American people will make a mistake, they can correct it. If we will make a mistake, we have nowhere to go, and it will be irreversible.
All right. Thank you, sir. We'll talk again. I appreciate it. If you'd like to help in Israel and find out how you can help, go to glennbeck.com/Israel. Coming up next, a gentleman who does not agree with me on very much at all. He agrees with me on this, and he has decided to take a stand. I think he is an extraordinarily courageous man for coming on this program and doing what he's about to do. Don't miss it. It's next.